Well, you know what time it is. Good morning, West Ham fans. Is Sully going to do a Bowen on Divine?
They'll lynch you, but he did, and he laughs at
Oh, it's a happy Thursday, a European League match Thursday as we play Olympiacos at the London Stadium this evening. We'll be having all the preview and the starting 11 predictors and the match day late afternoons outside the stadium, all that good stuff coming up. But one of the big issues over the last few weeks, as well as the team not winning anything at the moment, is the contract status of Divine and Mubama. So 2 weeks ago, I think it was just before Halloween, ironically, Rashane Thomas via the Athletic. Hope you're getting well soon, mate. Hope your surgeries was a success. He's been out of action for a couple of weeks. He took to his personal Twitter to say that Divine had rejected West Ham's contract offer and left it as that. We found out, well, we were led to believe it was around 25 grand a week they were looking for, and it was rejected. Now, people were like, oh my God, he's gonna, his contract was going to run out in the summer potentially if a new deal hadn't been signed or wasn't going to be signed. Obviously, we all went into meltdown as we always do. But to be fair, in any good negotiation, you never take the first offer. And it was led to believe that West Ham was still very much in the hunt to secure Divine on a long-term deal. Now, according to Claret and Hugh, it says exclusively that Mr. Sullivan will personally meet the Academy star to thrash out terms on a new contract at the London Stadium. It's hopeful that this tactic that David Sullivan employed, he deployed, for the signing of Jarrod Bowen's contract. He rejected several different offers from the club, and then randomly he signs a 7-year deal after meeting Mr. Sullivan at his residence at the Sullivan Manor, and it worked. So could lightning strike twice? Apparently, he's going to be meeting Divine personally and offering around £30,000 a week, which is quite interesting because I thought it was 25,000 that they wanted, which we rejected. So I'm not too sure what the figure is, but still 30 grand a week for a 19-year-old ain't too shabby. Alonso, as I said, he was on the coach for the Arsenal game, but wasn't in the matchday squad. But I did see him in very intense, not intense, but very close, very considered conversation with Tim Steinem for at least half an hour at the stadium. Kept them looking back, and they were still chatting. So clearly, to give Divine that much attention, on the match day, he's obviously just having a word. But the Hammers are continuing to try and commit him to a new deal. The idea was when he signs a new deal, he'll then probably be going out on loan, whether that's it could potentially be in January with the likes of Watford interested, and I think he'd be quite good for Ismail's side. I think he would do a really good job there, to be honest. Or maybe go out on loan in the next season, for example, in terms of keeping his development going. We know that he is highly regarded by West Ham internally and also amongst the fan base themselves, and loads of universal calls in an age when the fan base is split between the whole Moyes saga. I think everyone unilaterally, which is a long word for a Thursday morning, wants Divine to get more minutes, and at the expense of Danny Ings, really. So we know, and during these youth times, 13 goals in 20 Premier League 2 appearances last season. I think Callum Marshall's on about 12 now already, which is ridiculous. And obviously, he even bagged a goal during his during the Europa Conference League winning run. Now, we've seen a number of academy players leave due to the club's maybe lack of decisiveness and of signing new contracts, or a worry about breaking into the first team pathway. The likes of Armstrong, Ockleflex, Sonny Perkins, Ashby, Divine Mukasey, the younger he's younger than Divine. He's like 16. Amaro Nullo as well. But it seems as though Sully is trying to come to save the day at the London Stadium. And clearly it's the right decision to get someone of Divine's quality and potential signed to a long-term deal. As losing him could potentially down the road lose West Ham millions of pounds. And I think by getting Mubama to sign to a long-term deal would really show the likes of Callum Marshall, the likes of new people coming in, that actually, the club are willing to invest, heavily in the youth team. Might not fucking play them, but invest in terms of financially back them. And 30 grand a week for someone who's made a handful of appearances is not a bad deal for a 19-year-old, in all honesty. Even more so when you look at the contract negotiations and the demands of one Ben Johnson. Now, obviously, Ben played on Tuesday in the under-21s match against Cheltenham Town, which they won 4-0. They've won something like 12 unbeaten. They've won all 3 games in the Bristol Motor something trophy. I can't remember what it's called, but it's Bristol Motor Sport Trophy or something like that. Now, apparently, there's not too much. We said, oh, there we go. He's in the stiff, so to speak, or the equivalent. He's definitely going. Apparently, according to Clary, it's not the case, and he's just keeping match fit. Whether he's needed or whether indeed he is sold in January potentially. But according to Claret and Hugh, it said that his contract demands have revealed his agents want him on £60,000 a week to remain at West Ham, despite only making one first-team appearance this season, and that was against Lincoln City in the Carabao Cup third round. Johnson and his agents believe the club should agree a deal better than the deal that Declan Rice signed when he signed his last deal, which was believed about 40, 50 grand a week. We know he was dropped as into the reserves, but apparently, according to Clarence Hughes' key contact, that should not be overread too much into that, as it was a case of keeping him match fit. Should it be required, or should indeed he be moved on? The club were prepared to sell him maybe in January. It's probably worth remembering Jeremy Ngakia. If it was Jeremy Ngakia and Ben Johnson, weren't they? And the club decided to keep one and sell one. They sold Ngakia, and again, he has hardly hit the heights. Same as someone like Grady Dean Garner as well. Claret and Hugh understood that West Ham would be ready to make Johnson an offer of £35,000 a week plus £25,000 for each match appearance, which seems bloody fair for a guy who's very much a fringe player. 35 grand basic. Every time you get a match appearance, 25 grand. Yes, he can play left. He can left back. He deputised. I always thought he was going to be, that was his position, but he never really kicked on. He can play right back. He can play back of the right three. He can play wing back on either side as well. His form hasn't been great over the last 18 months, and to offer to say we want 60 grand a week seems really excessive, in all honesty. But if good luck to him. If he can get someone to pay him 60 grand a week, good luck to him. But I think 35 grand a week basic plus 25, it's when you talk about that money like that, it's irrelevant. We can't fathom that type of money as normal people, but it does seem a little excessive, in all honesty. And that's it, my friends. Keep an eye on the channel. We'll be having all the fun of the fair. That is the Olympiacos game. We'll have the match day late afternoon. We'll have the starting 11 predicted show. We'll have the watch alongs. Maybe I'll dial in at the end, and if we've had a good match or either a poor match, and try and grab some people for some comments after the game around the stadium. But until then, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my friends, and I'll see you soon. Come on, you bloody irons.